What is death? I wonder why we human beings are so interested in death. Understand? Or are you not interested in death? Only old people are interested in death. And one must go into this very carefully, not only to find out whether human beings can be free from the fear of death, and what is implied deeply in ending, which is death. Ending. Right? Have you ever ended anything? Without motive? Without coercion? Without pressure? Without giving up something in order to have something else? You understand? Ending. Have you ever ended a particular form of pleasure without any motive, without any suggestive demands? Just take, for instance, attachment. Attachment to a friend, to a family, to an idea, to a belief, to something or other. Can you end attachment completely? That's what death is, part of it, right? Have you understand all this? Are you following? Can you end it? Without arguing. You can't argue with death. Doctors may prolong your life. I don't know why, but they want to prolong it. They want to help you to live longer. You're never asked, what for? So we must first find out not what is death, but what is before death, right? You understand what is before, not after or during. Because what is before is more important than what is after, right? I wonder if you... Can we go on with this together? So, what is your life? Actually, if you look into it very carefully, if you ever done, what's your life? Not the American way of life, but your daily life of a human being living in this part of the world. What is that life? Is it not one of travail, labor, struggle, conflict, anxiety, fear, guilt, holding on to your own little experience, to your own little knowledge, and exploiting that knowledge for your own selfishness. The sense of frustration, unhappiness, great sense of guilt, anxiety and so on. Isn't that your daily life? To escape from that, you go to analysts, psychologists, therapeutists or gurus, or take drugs and whiskey, escape from this. Or you have little experience and go around preaching. You can become a little guru. You might well say that's what you're doing. One must have a sense of humor. That is, one must have the capacity to laugh at oneself occasionally, or very often. So when one observes what actually is going on with one's life, look at it. How full of shadows, light and misery, confusion, uncertainty, tears. You know this. And what is it that we are ending? You understand? And there are the other those who say this is merely a peripheral existence. Deep down in oneself there is divinity, there is the essence of all mankind, which is far beyond this petty consciousness. I do not know if you know all these various explanations, which I'm not going to go into. So we're asking, is this what we're afraid of ending? You understand my question, sirs? And if one doesn't end this, please follow the slowly, carefully. I'm going through the whole thing very carefully. If one doesn't end all this pettiness, shallowness, meaningless life, both outwardly and inwardly, if one doesn't understand it, resolve all the things that one is caught up in psychologically, then what is death? You follow? So this is a complex problem. Let me go into it a little bit carefully. As we pointed out earlier in these talks, you as a human being, psychologically, are similar to other human beings, right? Psychologically, because every human being goes through this sorrow, pain, anxiety, loneliness, despair, depression, guilt, violence. Whether they live in the most extreme Orient and as you come extreme West, every human being has this burning inside him. So we are similar. There is this vast movement of energy, right? Which is like a vast stream, river. And either you contribute to that energy to that stream, which is you contribute. If you don't end your attachments, your fears, your anxieties, guilt, violence, end it. If you don't end it, you're contributing to this vast stream of energy. Right? That's clear, obvious. But if you're not ending, you're contributing to it. So this vast energy of stream goes on, river. See the logic of it. Please apply your mind to it. We're not talking of beliefs, comforts. We're not doing anything of that kind. We're observing very closely. We're not offering comforts, because that leads to illusion. That's meaningless. Every religion has given comfort to human minds, and therefore they have not penetrated deeply into this problem. So there is this collective, human river of confusion and sorrow. And when you have not ended it, your own sorrow and all the rest of it, you are part of that stream. When there is an ending of all that, the consciousness that we know of as it is, you're following this? The consciousness is its content, right? Are you following this? One's consciousness is your anxiety, your grumbling, your guilt, all this is your consciousness. The content of that consciousness makes it. Without its content, the consciousness as we know it is totally different. You understand? Not being able to empty our consciousness of its content, we then begin to invent a super consciousness, higher consciousness, subliminal consciousness, so on, so on, so on. It is still the movement of thought. So we are saying that as long as human beings don't end their confusion and go into it and resolve it and end it, right? That is, if you are attached, you have pain, you have anxiety, you follow the fear of losing and so on, psychologically. If you don't end it, you contribute to that stream. And when you do die, not you please, when one dies, that's the ending of not only your organism and the brain with all its content, the stream goes on because you're part of that stream. You're following all this? You're part of that stream. Therefore, that stream manifests itself in the baby, in the man, in the adolescent, with varieties of names and characteristics. You following all this? I wonder if you are careful, please. You must apply your mind to this. So, that stream is enduring. And from that stream there is manifestation. When you have a baby, that's the manifestation. And in that baby, as it grows over, all the human collected misery, confusion begins. Obviously, you can see it in each one. Through education, conformity, society, all that. So we're asking, can you, as a human being, be aware of the stream of which you are and not contribute one iota to that stream? You understand the question? If you contribute, you are part of it. If you don't contribute, not one single movement of, you follow? Of problems, sorrows, anxieties, loneliness, none of that. That means you are out of that stream. Then death is merely the ending of the varieties and the peripheral activities. You understand all this? So can a mind, realizing all this, seeing the depth of this, seeing the implications of death, the ending, and while living, which is the period of time from adolescent to from baby to dying, during that given life end, every day the problem arises. You follow? Psychologically, end everything every day.